I broke my back.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
What do you mean, calm it down? It's a fight. Referees telling two fighters who want to fight to calm it down. He should calm down.
I saw he's like a clown in his show, man. He's not your guy.
Because Tyson Fury's back, and all you motherfuckers are under attack.
Look, Eddie Hearn can say all what he likes. Who gives a shit what Eddie Hearn says? It's garbage.
Are you off your tits? Have you been smoking something?
Can you let me retire and be happy? Please? Just please.
Bombs away from the Bronx Bomber!
Wanda! Let's go, baby! Let's go! I'm through. They put somebody else up and give me an interview.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You never give me a fair shake. HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing. You ain't shit. You're not shit.
I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
I got dropped, man.
Are you kidding?
No, you won the fight.
OMG. I am so excited.
Any of you radio personalities think you want smoke? Call me Mr. Chimney. I want smoke.
Yes. What is up? MCR family? Another daily edition of the show live on YouTube, podcast from iTunes, Spotify, radio, etc. I'm Matt, the hipster hunter. Gonna be talking all things boxing today, previewing the weekend's action, upcoming fight cards, and obviously all the news and rumors of the boxing world. But usually on this show, I would go to Mr. Robbie Hearns first. But no, I'm going to make him a little bit upset. I'm going to go to Gary in Dallas, one of our new co-hosts and contributors. Gary, how are you on this fine hump day today?
I just want to put it out there. When this show takes off and we have 60 million subscribers, like
KSI,
the Logan brothers,
yes,
and AT&T wants to be a sponsor, no, I'm not taking your advertising dollar because your product's no good. I had some internet issues earlier. That's why I'm venting. But we're good. We got a big week. I'm into it. And, well, go ahead.
We already have a Gary vent and rant within like a minute. It's going to be a good show. I can feel it already, guys. But like I said, Mr. Robbie Hearns, second cousin, twice removed of Sir Eddie. Rob, how are you on this fine hump day yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. Perfect, crystal clear internet over here. You know, that good UK Wi-Fi going on. Yeah, and it's nice to see Gary finally sees, you know, some of the shit that goes on behind the scenes when he's been in the chat. Tidiness is terrible, and Rob's late again. All this stuff. Wow, that's 2 shows in a row, Gary. I've been here and waiting for you. So, just saying.
I want smoke.
It's gonna be a good show. I can't.
I'll let you off the first one because you had just arrived home from getting back from Chicago, so I'll let that slide. But
that's true. Yes, this
you've
time
had all day to get this internet in order. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, we're here. Yeah, like Gary said, big week, big fights. Well, fight maybe more. We'll see, but we'll talk about it.
And honestly, not even that much of a big fight, but a really great fight in terms of competitive action. Artur Beterbiev versus Alexander Gvozdyk on ESPN on Friday. So any of you guys, checking the schedule, trying to hit record or anything, or maybe making your plans for the weekend, Friday is the big night for the weekend, not Saturday. We do have a card on Saturday which we're going to get to in the UK, but that's after we're going to talk about Beterbiev, Gvozdyk, which let's just get into. Because honestly, like I said, it's not a fight that has any sort of drawing power. It's not a fight that appeals to the casuals at all, even though it aesthetically, from a pure action standpoint, could. But we know this fight is for us. It's a light heavyweight fight that is actually for the hardcores. And it's weird when it's like that, because usually it's the lighter weight classes we have this sort of narrative around, where it's like, it's a great fight. We understand it's a great fight. It has a bunch of meaning behind it, but it's only for us. And we're okay with that. I feel like in this instance, that's a similar case, where we don't have this entire community, our community boxing, trying to push for this fight to be something else, or honestly for either fighter here to be something that they're not. I don't see any push for either guy here to be the next crossover star. I think we're sort of content with the fact that both guys have their relatively small drawing power in the U.S., and it's just a great fight on paper. And Beterbiev Gvozdyk, from a stylistic standpoint, what a chef's kiss. matchup in boxing. You have a pure aggressive volume combination artist like Artur Beterbiev. You have a guy that is a two-way fighter in Alexander Gvozdyk under the great Lomachenko camp, so to speak. So it's going to be interesting to see how these styles mesh up, and I'm going to give my further pick later on, but or my pick further on. Rob, your thoughts on the matchup itself, its meaning to the division, etc.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. Although no UK broadcaster is picking it up.
What? I didn't know that.
No.
Oh, that's really sad.
If I want to watch it over here, I've got to pay $15 on Fight TV. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Wow.
This could be a Daily Motion next day kind of thing. But yeah, no, but the fight itself, that's why it's such a well, no one's picking it up. Where's Box Nation? What's with ESPN and BT thing going on? So yeah, I don't know what's happening, but yeah, really looking forward to it. I think one guy, Gvozdyk's got like a 90% knockout ratio or something, and Beterbiev's now 100% still. But that being said, I might think this maybe goes to points. I don't know, but yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Obviously, Beterbiev is shown to be a little bit chinny, but he soon shakes that off and gets up and cracks on with it and finds a way to win. So I don't know which way I'm leaning yet. I'll see what Gary has to say, and then I'll probably agree with him.
We're all hedging our bets. Gary, preliminary thoughts, obviously, on the great main event on Friday.
I think the main event is potential fight of the year. I think it's a potential like blood and guts type fight. I think that's what Beterbiev has to make it because he'll get outboxed by Gvozdyk. I'll give the prediction later, but I can't wait for this fight. Rob, so I want to understand. You'll pay $20 to watch Chisora versus Parker, but $15 for a light heavyweight unification fight between arguably two of the top three guys in the weight class. That doesn't pique your interest, like Chisora Parker.
One is at primetime UK, and the other one is 4 a.m.
That's a good point. Now, good point. Now, let's thought experiment here. Okay, let's say both events were prime time, right? Let's say Gvozdyk Beterbiev was somehow prime time in the O2 in London for some reason, and it was a $15 pay-per-view on Sky or BT. Would you be inclined to buy it?
Yeah, for sure. I'm just not spending that for 4 a.m. when there's a high chance that I'm asleep when it's happening.
You know what's funny? In the U.S., I don't know if that's the case, though, if I would buy it. Like, I would, obviously, because I'm a fucking degenerate. And it would be like, oh, $15? Like, yeah, I'll fucking pay for it. But...
yeah, if this was a pay-per-view in America, put that...
And even at, like, a discounted price, it would do really... Like, these guys aren't a draw. Like, period, point blank. But it is a great fight. Now, I'm going to give my pick, because both you guys... I thought we were going to be a little more...
It just turned into later. Like,
a little more opinionated. But no, okay, I'll give my pick. Gvozdyk, I think, will win this fight. And I'm actually leaning a little bit more on the side of either late fight TKO finish or, like Rob said, a points win. I think Beterbiev, while he is chinny at times, like he can be touched, he can be dropped. Rob, you stated it perfectly. He has an amazing recovery ability. His ability to recover from damage is perhaps the best in the division, because even Gvozdyk at times has been hurt, and then he'll just look off for a whole fight. So if Beterbiev can somehow, let's say, press Gvozdyk early, hurt him early, then it could be one-way traffic till he gets a finish for Beterbiev. If that doesn't happen, if Gvozdyk can either survive from that early onslaught and adapt, or that never happens and he just is able to negate that early onslaught, then I think he'll be able to win either, a late fight TKO victory or a sort of split decision or a unanimous decision win, where it's a fun back-and-forth fight. But I think Gvozdyk's levels, his ability to go back and forth laterally as well, it's just too much for Beterbiev. Beterbiev is a very traditional, come-forward, aggressive fighter. Yes, he can set up angles on the inside quite creatively, but it's still sort of pigeonholed to the inside game. And Gvozdyk is a guy with with a long reach, a guy that knows how to use that long reach as well. I would not be surprised if you could keep him at long range or the mid range, and sort of keep that sort of in his wheelhouse within his fight and win the fight overall. Guys, picks now. You guys can't just push it off now. Rob.
Me? I'll
Yeah.
go. Yeah. I think Gvozdyk is the slight favorite on the betting. Last time I saw it, Beterbiev was at even money, and then Gvozdyk was like minus 125, so he's very slight favorite. But I might go for Beterbiev. I think I'm going to go with his pressure just being a little bit too much, despite like your thoughts on Gvozdyk being, good going backwards and stuff. But I think Beterbiev might be just a little bit too much. And then hopefully the winner can go on and face the true number one of the division.
No.
Bivol.
All right, we're going to get to that in a second. That's okay. Gary, prediction on the fight. And actually just move to your right a little bit. Can you move to your right? Yes, that way. Yes, move to your right. There we go. Perfect. Thank you.
So I still think Beterbiev beats Bivol beats Gvozdyk. I was just saying Matt made a good point that there's more gears, there's more tools in the toolbox for Gvozdyk, but I still pick Bivol to win that fight. 50-50. I'll get into the fight. Forget that. I think it's a great fight. I think early on, Gvozdyk outboxes him. I think you get into the 5th, 6th round, and Beterbiev knows he needs to change it up because he's getting outboxed, and I think it turns into a war. And I think he gets knocked out around 9 or 10. It might be a thing where both fighters touch the canvas. I think it's going to be that kind of fight. I think it's going to be a war. But I think eventually, Gvozdyk is I don't know who's the bigger puncher, but Gvozdyk's the more skilled fighter. I think eventually he gets him and breaks him down round 9 or round 10.
All right. I feel like we're all sort of in a unanimous decision here that Gvozdyk is the favorite here. Now, to Rob's point, though.
It's a split decision. I said Beterbiev.
You did? I thought you said Gvozdyk.
No.
You said Beterbiev by decision?
Huh?
What was your official pick? Sorry. I was fixing
Beterbiev.
By decision or TKO?
No, I'm going to go. He might get a stoppage.
Okay. Now, Rob made the point that the winner of this fight is not the true number one of the division. Now,
he really is, though. He is. I just said it for shits and giggles.
Okay, for shits and giggles. No, but to that point, though, because it is obviously a narrative, is the winner of this fight the clear consensus number one guy in the division?
On paper, they're the number one in the division.
In terms of resume, in terms of accomplishment, yes, there's the Bivol fanatics. I think Bivol's truly the best guy in the division. A lot of some of these guys on this panel that are fucking out of their mind, obviously on PCP. But we have to admit he has not proven that in comparison to the winner of this fight, right?
Of course, yeah.
Gary, are we in agreement with that?
I agree that on paper the winner is number one, but it's like, who's number one at 140? Would it be Ramirez? Because he has the best win of the lot. But I would still think Taylor and Prograis could beat him. You know what I'm saying?
No. That's not an analogous. An analogous analogy would be the winner of Prograis Taylor is that the number one person over Jose Ramirez. And I think the consensus would probably be the winner of Prograis Taylor is the number one guy in the division.
I was saying the winner of Ramirez Hooker was number one guy in the division. Okay.
And then even then, I'll be honest, you can't even make that comparison. You know why? Jose Ramirez has at least unified. Bivol's never once fought anyone that was a champion. And the one guy he did fight that was a former champion was John Pascal, who's a champion in 2010 and 2009.
No, that's not what I'm saying, right? Like I was saying, Ramirez is a unified champion.
Okay.
Right? But so technically, if you were to rank them, who has the best resume, you might say Ramirez. But if you asked me to pick who I would pick to win, Prograis or Ramirez, Prograis. So, what do you mean by number one?
That's not a good comparison because Prograis has a fight coming up that could legitimize him as being the number one guy of the division, period. Bivol doesn't have that coming up. Bivol just had Lennon Castillo. You know what I mean? It's not that. I don't think that's a good comparison. It might be a good comparison after Prograis Taylor, but not in the comparison that you're making. Ramirez would be Bivol more likely. And even then, I don't think that would be a good comparison.
Wait, what? Ramirez beats Bivol?
No, I said Ramirez would be Bivol in the comparison.
Okay. Would beat him.
No.
Ramirez beats Bivol, he's number one pound for pound.
Yeah. And even then, I don't think it's analogous because like Ramirez has unified. Bivol has never fought anyone that was a legit champion at the time, ever. Joe Smith Jr. not a champion. Sullivan Barrera not a champion. Never hold a title.
Who did he win his belt?
Ooh, I can look that up really fast, but I want to say it was a vacant belt because Andre Ward retired.
Oh, yeah.
He was one of the guys that got a vacant belt because Andre Ward. Similar to Beterbiev, similar to, in a way, obviously, Kovalev, Ederle Alvarez, because that was for a vacant strap. The only one that didn't fight for a vacant strap was Alexander Gvozdyk, who fought Adonis Stevenson and beat him, the lineal champion who was also the WBC champion since 2013. But no.
He was the interim champion for like forever. Well, no. Yeah.
Yeah, he was for a long time.
I think the World Boxing Association World Lightweight title. So was he just upgraded?
Yes. Oh, he might have just been upgraded. Might not have been a fight for a vacant one. Just might have been upgraded.
The WBA interim is like what Brandon Figueroa has. It's basically the belt that they give to the guy who's the number one challenger before they mandate him. So I'm guessing when Ward vacated, he fought Barrera or someone for the vacant belt. I don't think they just made him champion. I don't know.
Broadhurst. It was Trent Broadhurst, I think.
Yeah, it was. It was Trent Broadhurst.
On the Monaco card.
Yeah.
Oh, bad matchups. Anyways, guys, I just think that it would be almost impossible after Friday to make the claim that Bivol's number one in the division. It would be almost impossible. And if you do make that claim, then you're purely ranking it off of the eye test and talent, which I don't even think is that arguable anymore. Like, he goes the full 12 with everyone, guys. Like, even guys like Landon Castillo and other guys. So, I don't know.
But does it matter if you win when you go 12?
I don't think he's winning that decisively and that
winning what decisively?
The fights.
Fight? Yeah?
Like most of his fights. I don't think he's out there looking like the
said
next boxing god.
Every round. You said he won every round.
Against Landon Castillo?
Yeah. Isn't that decisively?
He's saying keep that in perspective, Rob. It's Landon Castillo. It's not.
And Landon Castillo put Landon Castillo put hands on him, man. Yeah, I'm not saying like again. I said Landon Castillo, and I also mentioned on the review show, Rob, that he's never been stopped. I made those contacts. I obviously set the table for that. But however, if you're getting touched by Landon Castillo, it's the same argument like Usyk getting touched by Witherspoon. Like it's like you shouldn't be getting touched by these guys. Clearly, like I'm sorry. Like, you cannot say that you are the next great boxing talent and get touched up by borderline top 20 guys. Borderline.
Usyk's going to run buck wild through the heavyweight division. Watch.
Okay.
And whilst getting touched, considering you're standing in front of another human being with arms.
But, okay.
Kind of. It was Witherspoon.
You do. All right, Rob. I know you're not this stupid to make this point, but I understand that this is what you have to do. Okay, you understand that slick boxers don't get touched as much as other boxers, and Usyk is a slick boxer. Bivol has been called a slick boxer.
But how many times did he actually get touched?
Did you not?
Usyk got
what?
Usyk or Bivol? Bivol got hit a lot. Usyk got hit more.
Let's talk about Usyk for a second.
No. I would say both got hit a lot. I would say Usyk got. Yeah. Comparative to who they're fighting against, it's Chaz Witherspoon, dog. Look at Murat Gassiev fight. Murat Gassiev, a guy that you thought would beat him, right? Murat Gassiev didn't lay a hand on him for 12 rounds. Chaz Witherspoon was landing right hands at will. And I'm a huge Usyk fan, but you can't tell me that you look good in that fight. Similarly, you can't tell me that Bivol looked good against Landon Castillo when he was getting caught with combinations. Clean combinations. You get caught on the inside and not really know what to do. He ran out of ideas. He threw the 1-2 and the 1-2-3, and that just didn't work after a while. So he just kept going back to it, You know, I think my point is a little bit different for both guys. Okay? I think Usyk's heavyweight run might be different than the way it's been hyped. Bivol has been hyped overall full stop in a way that I don't think is accurate. That's different. You understand what I'm saying? Like, Usyk, I do think is a very talented boxer, pound-for-pound talent. But I don't know if heavyweight's going to be a great transition for him as much as some people like Gary think. However, or I should say differently, Bivol has been chalked up to be the next best thing at light heavyweight, the next Andre Ward. And he's, I'm not going to say struggling with B-level competition and C-level competition, but he kind of is. He's not looking otherworldly against the likes of Joe Smith Jr., likes of Solomon Barrera, the likes of Lennon Castillo. And if you're the next Andre Ward, I'm sort of expecting that when you're a young, in your 20s, next Andre Ward.
He's not Andre Ward. I mean, that doesn't mean he's not the best light heavyweight, but he's not Andre Ward.
But
Andre Ward was an all-time great.
I am purely talking about the hype that that these guys are receiving. That's all I'm talking about.
He's not Andre Ward, right? Like, after Kobe Bryant retired, Kevin Durant may be the best player in the NBA, but he's not Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? Like, he still might be the best, but he's not as good as his predecessor. No, he's not even. Wood would dispose of him. I think Matt's right. He got hit a lot, period. Usyk got hit more than you expected. Now, if that's a lot, I mean, it wasn't really a lot, but he really shouldn't be getting hit at all. He got hit more than you would like or thought he would get hit. I wouldn't say it's a lot. Like, Bivol got hit a lot. He did.
Yeah, I didn't say he didn't.
I'll put it this way. Going into his heavyweight run, right? The week after Tony Bellew, right? Rob, the narrative was, oh man, he's going to wreck some of these guys. And then a couple of the heavyweights fought later, right? Like AJ, Wilder, and others, and they kind of looked suspect, right? And then the narrative even grew. Oh man, Usyk's really going to give these guys issues. And then a year went by. And then he fought Chaz Witherspoon. Chaz fucking Witherspoon. And got touched up a lot. So naturally, the narrative should be shifting now to more of a realistic perspective. Because maybe we got really hyped up off of that one Tony Bellew win, and the cruiserweight one, while amazing, while pound for pound worthy, maybe it's not indicative of him conquering the heavyweight division. Those are two very different things.
I want to say one thing, right? He's got a win over Bellew, who has legitimate heavyweight wins.
Yes.
He has a win over Michael Hunter, who has legitimate heavyweight wins, kind of. And he has a win over Gassiev, who doesn't have any legitimate heavyweight wins, but he will, right? Like,
probably will.
I think Gassiev, who's only like 25, will, before his career is over, have one of the 4 major heavyweight titles, right? He'll be a heavyweight champ. So, like, he's already done things against heavyweights. So, look, I think the toughest fight for Bellew stylistically is Luis Ortiz, someone who's bigger, who can box with him, and can knock him out. Because Fury can't knock him out. I love Fury, but Fury doesn't have he doesn't knock anybody out anymore.
When you said Bellew, you meant Usyk, right?
Oh, Usyk, yeah.
Okay,
well,
Bellew's retired. I don't care about Bellew fighting Ortiz.
No, I think the toughest fight for him at heavyweight is somebody like Luis Ortiz. I mean, Fury gets hit too much too. We always talk about the defensive wizardry of Fury. He gets cracked a lot too. So, you know, Fury's a better boxer than him, and Fury can't knock out Usyk. So I think the toughest name would be the 50-year-old Luis Ortiz. That would be the toughest fight for Usyk.
And I'm saying that maybe that perception that he's going to beat Wilder, AJ, Andy Ruiz, Tyson Fury, maybe it's wrong. And maybe we're just wrong. Like, it's okay to be wrong sometimes, guys. Like, maybe we're just wrong about him conquering the heavyweight division. I don't know. I don't know anymore. And hey, you know what? I know I might get flack for that, but hey, it's okay to say I don't know. I don't have an opinion. I don't have a firm opinion about Usyk's heavyweight run anymore.
I'm kind of, I mean, I like Wilder. I'm kind of neutral on him. Like, there's the guy, oh, he's the greatest heavyweight ever. He knock out George Foreman. And then there's the other side, oh, he sucks. He has no skills. I'm kind of like a realist on him. He is what he is. He's a decent boxer with amazing power. Usyk embarrasses him. Like, embarrasses him.
Rob?
No, I was just looking at I know CompuBox punch stats aren't necessarily a true thing, but I'm trying to find where Usyk got touched up.
You can look at his face, bro. He had 2 black eyes, like he got hit.
All right, twice then.
Rob, come on, man. I mean, you watched the fight, right?
Get touched up by fucking Witherspoon.
Then where did the black eyes come from?
Only 2 punches? Is that really your argument? That he only got touched up twice?
Let me see. Round 4, Usyk landed 20 punches, Witherspoon 6, and 3, and 2, and 2, and 2.
Oh, the second half of the fight was bad. No, but we're talking about the first probably 4 rounds or so.
Okay, first 4 rounds.
But Rob, just go watch the fight, man. Like, I don't want you to.
I watched it, Matt, and that's why I'm arguing with you, because Usyk didn't get touched up by fucking Chaz Witherspoon.
In comparison to fucking Murat Gassiev, yes, he did.
Let me bring those up then.
I'm not going through the CompuBox. I don't believe in CompuBox, Rob. I think that's just 2 guys or 3 guys with 2 remotes clicking buttons and watching the screen. That's all they're doing. There's no scientific data there. It's just 3 guys pressing buttons. It's the same as 3 judges. So, Rob, you can look up the stats. I don't give a fuck. Okay? Usyk got touched up against Chaz Witherspoon comparative to Murat Gassiev in other fights. Yes, he did. You're the only one that seems to have this argument that actually, no, he dominated Chaz Witherspoon more than Murat Gassiev. You're the only one that's making that.
No, you're the only one who's throwing Gassiev into this. That was never the
argument.
Because
I am. That's my opinion, Rob.
But I never said he landed.
Rob, my statement is very clear. You can either agree with it or disagree with it, and then we can go on. Okay? Because apparently you don't understand my statement or my opinion. Apparently. Because my entire point is that Usyk got touched up against Chaz Witherspoon in comparison to his other fights, obviously. A la Murat Gassiev, his legacy-defining fight at this point in time. Okay? Where he really didn't get touched up at all, and he put a clinic on Gassiev. I would argue he got touched up more against Chaz Witherspoon than Murat Gassiev, a far better fighter and boxer. Why? Because maybe the heavyweight transition is not going to be as easy for him as some claim. Now, you can disagree with that statement, but Gassiev has always been, in my opinion, and in the phrasing of my comparison here.
Right.
Okay?
Okay. Fine. Whatever.
Do you agree or disagree with that?
I don't know. I don't agree with the whole first bit of it anyway. That Chaz Witherspoon put her hands all over fucking Usyk.
Okay, you don't seem to understand my point here, Rob.
Well, move on then, because I'm getting bored.
Rob, you can get Rob, you can get upset and bored all you want, then you can just leave. Fine.
You want me to agree with you, Matt?
I don't want you to agree with me, Rob. You can not agree with me, but then make an argument. Your argument is I don't think he got touched up. That's not my argument. My argument is in comparison to the fight with Murat Gassiev. Are you ignoring that huge fucking point?
Gassiev landed 30% of his punches, and Witherspoon landed 10% of his punches.
Again, you're using CompuBox. Stop using CompuBox. Tell me what your eyes saw. Did Usyk get touched up more against Chaz Witherspoon than when he fought Murat Gassiev? Don't tell me CompuBox numbers for the last fucking time. It's really easy. Yes or no?
Was it more or less than Gassiev? I don't think there's anything in it.
He's saying it's comparable. He was saying...
All right, fine. We're moving on because Rob just doesn't want to actually address the debate. Okay. Luis Colazo's on the card fighting Kujarat. Ooh. Whoa.
Don't, Matt. Yeah.
Cool. No, I'm going to try this.
I tried it before.
I'm going to make all of you guys try it. Kudrulatilo Abracadurov. Rob.
What?
Can you try this name, please?
What is it? I've not even got the card up. What is it?
The Gvozdyk Beterbiev card.
Yeah, but I'm trying to see
the guy fighting Luis Colazo.
Oh, I've got to type it in. Hang on. Beterbiev.
I'm not... the
you guys all... Yeah. I'm not going to be the one put out here and may look like a fool trying to pronounce that name. You all have to try it.
I'm gonna give it a crack. Kurtatio? I'm gonna say Kurtatio.
That's too Mexican. He's Russian.
Kudratio Abdukakirov. Yeah, he's fighting because that's Spence's mandatory once he gets past. Yeah, that's the IBF mandatory for Spence.
Guys in the chat, it's a debate show. Me and Rob debate. If you can't handle it, then you can leave as well, guys. Okay, if you want a posh little British show, then go to Sporting Icons where he doesn't talk to anyone just by himself. Okay,
But
this is a
make
debate.
sure to like and subscribe before you leave.
This is a debate show. Okay, me and Rob are gonna yell and debate. Me and Gary are gonna argue and debate. Rob and Gary are gonna argue and debate. That's what a debate show is, guys. It's really easy. And guess what? I'm gonna yell sometimes. You know why? Because it's a fucking debate show. Get over it. Moving
I was
on.
raised in the South, so I'm a little bit more well mannered.
Yeah, me and Gary.
No, Gary's Italian. Shut the fuck up. No, you're not.
Me and Gary are tight as well. We're not going to argue.
Oh, we may.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, I have no idea who this guy is. Actually, I think I've seen him
I
once.
told you who it is.
I don't know who he is.
No, I mean, like, I don't know if I've really seen him fight. I think I've seen him fight before in I think it was his last fight or the fight before that against the Japanese fighter. What's his name? Kita Orbara in Philadelphia. I think I saw that fight, but I really don't remember it, to be honest. And Luis Collazo has been really out of our minds for a long time. I have no opinion on this fight. Like, I think Collazo should win, but he's fighting an undefeated fighter with really no amateur background who I think I've seen before fight. And the rest of the card is honestly not that good. So it's going to be a rough night here for us boxing fans because it's really just the fight at the top.
He was on Gvozdyk and Gumbu and the same night that Kavalauskas drew with Ray Robinson. So you probably did watch that card, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I just don't remember it. You know, I also didn't go back and watch the fight because, again, like Luis Collazo, when's the last time he's been on a big card?
Well, he fought Samuel Vargas. I mean,
no, but
a
that's
televised card.
Yeah, it's been a while since he's been on our minds, and I just again, it's hard to have an opinion about a fight when I don't really remember one guy fighting, and I can't remember the last time I've seen a guy fight.
Collazo got robbed blind against Ricky Hatton. That's got to be 12 years ago. This was before the Mayweather fight. That's how old.
Rob definitely doesn't agree with that opinion.
How are we gonna watch the fight? I wasn't even close.
Well, do you think Collazo put hands on Ricky Hatton? You think he touched him up?
Let me just get CompuBox up.
Yeah, get CompuBox up, please. Digressing though, yeah. Quick mention because we were talking about, I think it was Angel Rodriguez the other day, right? Gary, in some aspect, his brother's fighting on the card. Julian Rodriguez, who I semi remember fighting as well. I forget, why did we mention Angel Rodriguez? Who was he fighting? It was some Texan prospect, or he was fighting some other prospect I liked. Anyways, but his brother, Julian Rodriguez, is fighting on this card as well. There's a ton of undefeated guys. There are Ordono brothers on the card as well. But again, a lot of guys that really have not proven themselves, all fighting 6 and 8 rounders and 4 rounders. And it's the top ranked diet. You know what I mean? Like, at least with, I don't know how to say this, like Matchroom, PBC, who else? Even like Golden Boy, to give them their credit, they do a really good job of at least highlighting some prospects. Like, I feel like a lot of these guys who I've known have fought before. Like, I've seen the Ordono brothers, I've seen the Rodriguez brothers, I've seen them fight. They're so hard to keep updated on, and to remember who they fought and when. It just feels like Top Rank just does very little in terms of promotion. Digressing though, Gvozdyk Beterbiev, fantastic fight. Any other points on this card, guys? It's not a real stacked one.
So if Collazo wins, does he become the mandatory for Errol Spence?
Is it an IBF sanctioned fight?
I don't know.
No, I don't know.
Boy, because then I'd really be rooting for Collazo. Because I like Collazo. Like,
But Collazo's always been mentioned with Terence Crawford in some way, right? Because it was Khan or Collazo, right? It was Khan on pay-per-view or Collazo on free ESPN.
TV, yeah.
So, I mean, I think since this is ESPN, Collazo, and also Collazo kind of, didn't he come out and had some choice words about Al Heyman or PBC? Am I imagining that? Kind of like Jamal Herring did?
Controversial.
I want to say so. I could be wrong about that, guys. I could be misremembering something. But I don't know if Collazo is going to go over there and work with PBC and Heyman. I think he's going to try to get that Terence Crawford fight, to be honest. And plus, let's be honest, it's clear that Top Rank are trying to work for that fight. and it's a common opponent with other guys on the PBC stable. I think that's really what it's more about. Top Dog Boxing saying Michael Seals is always fun in fights. Agree with that. He's always fun in fights.
Sonny Conto would be interested.
Yeah,
just to
undefeated
see him
guy.
Move on.
Undefeated heavyweight, but he's fighting a guy that's 5-5. It's just like, what to expect from this. Moving on, though, UK card. I know one that Rob's hyped on. A guy that is one of his fan favorites, Lewis Ritson fighting Robbie Davis Jr., which should be a rather fun fight. Plus Ted Cheeseman versus Scott Fitzgerald, and then Savannah Marshall fighting someone that's 8-12-4. Savannah Marshall, please get Clarissa Shields out of your mentions, out of your mouth, please. Just stop. Just stop. Not when you're fighting 8-12-4 opponents. Also, Martin Bacoli on the card. Always like to see Martin Bacoli. Always a fun fighter, even though I don't think he has a high ceiling. But overall,
he's fighting
Kevin Johnson.
Kevin Johnson, late replacement. Kevin Johnson fought last Friday.
Are you serious?
No, seriously. He had an 8-rounder. He went went the distance on last weekend.
Kevin Johnson's clearly the guy that's been used for every prospect of this generation, and it's so sad.
And only one of them's got rid of him.
But digressing, Ritson, Davis Jr., Rob, obviously, this is your card. This is your beat. Yep. This is your home. Maybe not literally your home. But thoughts on this rather fun main event?
Yeah. Time to get back on the hype train. No, I don't know. It's I think Ritson will come out early looking to get this done, and if he doesn't deal with Robbie Davis Jr. early, I think Robbie Davis will eventually get about his boxing and could get a decision here. So it depends what Ritson does early on, and if he can't put Robbie Davis away, I think Robbie Davis could come away with the decision on this one. But yeah, it's a fun card. There's a lot of beef between these two. When I was at the Fowler Rose fight, Ritson was on the card, Robbie Davis was on the card. Ritson finished his fight, was walking backstage, and he said, "Over to you, Robbie, don't fuck it up." And then the clip of Robbie Davis Jr. with his Scouse accent going, "What's that, you maggot, you melt?" He's calling him all kinds of names, and then Robbie Davis got his victory, and he was in the middle of the ring going, "Ritson, Ritson," shouting out in his Scouse accent, wanting Ritson. And Sky were trying to set it up that Ritson would come out and they'd do some kind of face-to-face in the ring, but that never happened. But I was literally right behind the Sky guys, and they were saying we're trying to get Ritson to come out and set up a promo, but they kind of had the promo anyway. They've been running that backstage sort of meeting as one was going out, as one was coming in, so they've got that. But yeah, there's some beef here, so it'll be pretty great atmosphere, I think, in Newcastle again. The Ritson army will be out in force, and will give Robbie Davis a very warm welcome, I'm sure.
Gary, your thoughts on the return? Not really the return, but the new big fight for Lewis Ritson, getting back on the train to a championship.
This is a big fight for Ritson. He lost, and then he didn't look good in his next fight, but he finally looked good again. 2-3 months ago, whenever he fought last. So this is a big fight for him. He needs to beat Robbie Davis, and he needs to beat him well. Like, he needs to look impressive to get himself back to where he was at 135. But I like Ritson. I think Ritson gets rid of him 5-6 rounds, something like that. I think Ritson's righted the ship. I think he's going to be fine. He's still young, right? He was like 25, Rob?
Yeah, he's young. I think, yeah.
Somewhere around there, yeah. Sure.
Speaking of low ceiling, Ted Cheeseman. Rob, for one, used to tell me this guy was good. Good at what? Like, what? Ted Cheeseman's awful.
Guaranteed he will get hands put on him.
Oh, my God. I can't
Guaranteed. Because Scott Fitzgerald is really good.
Good job.
I think Fitzgerald's going to be a perennial top 10 guy at 54.
I pretty much agree with everything you guys are saying. I think Richardson should win. I don't know about that early though. I think Davis is I'm not gonna say talented, so to speak, but I think he's a good boxer. You know, like he's a guy that I would say is probably the better boxer than Lewis Ritson, but Lewis Ritson's probably a better fighter, if that makes sense. And I think Ritson should get a finish, but it would be more later, let's say 7th to 9th round TKO. And it should be a fun fight. I agree with you guys. Fitzgerald should win this fight against Cheeseman. He should either beat him by points decision rather clearly or beat him up with a late TKO finish. Fitzgerald, I think his jab is just too good. His ability to judge range and timing of his opponent is just far better than these guys on this card. And Rob, I do see something that you said in the chat, right? So I'll look at that in a second. But I definitely am excited to see this fight because it should just be a fun one. And sometimes I like just fun fights.
And why is Savannah Marshall fighting Steph Curry's wife? Like, what did she do to him? Like, why is?
I don't
know.
Hey guys, I gotta talk about this. Fuck, man. Breaking news from Dan Rayfield.
I don't want to hear this.
Patrick Day has passed away. Fuck, man. Condolences to his family, his friends. We're just gonna take a little break, man. Like, honestly, like I just need a break. It's too much. We'll be back in a few minutes. All right, guys, we're back. I'm sorry, man. I had to do that. I had to just take a break. I had to walk away. Rest in peace to Patrick Day. Obviously, a life that was taken from us far too soon. Condolences to his family, his friends, his team. The opponent that fought him. Sorry, I forget his name. Charles Conwell, I believe is the name. Man, I know you had this really emotional post out there. If anyone's read it, maybe go read it and send some thoughts to him as well, because he's taking it very hard, the fact that he's done this. Yeah, rest in peace, man, Patrick Day. And sucks, and fucking sucks that we have to do this far, far too much. Guys, I don't know if you have any thoughts to say or things to say. We're gonna try to move on with the show as best as we can.
Yeah, no, it's just there's just no words really. It just sucks, you know. These guys do what they do for, you know, they make a living out of it, and some of them kind of not no choice, but this is the way they've found to make a living, you know. Sort of working class kids that maybe struggled in, like, I don't know, education and things like that, and found a way to make money. And it's people pay for tickets to go and watch these guys fight and knock each other out and things like that. And it is what it is. Sometimes it does make you question, you know, just what is it that we enjoy watching. But these guys are just, you know, I'm really, in recent times, you know, with Dada Chef and all this stuff, and Patrick Day, I've found myself less and less trying to go down there. Oh, this guy's a bum, and this guy's this, and this guy's that. You know, it's just devastating. And obviously, thoughts with his family and friends and his coach and Lou DiBella. I just tried to get through some of that statement from Lou, but maybe read it in your own time and just have a quiet moment to yourself or whatever. But yeah, real sad. You know. In a year that has been pretty rough for boxing, right? So it's unfortunately another one that we've seen and lost. And all I can say is, from what I've seen, everyone said just a great guy Patrick Day was, you know, outside of the ring and everything like that. And my thoughts are with Chris Conwell as well. He put out an emotional message and how he's struggling with it. And Patrick Day's trainer replied to Chris Conwell. Just a real horrible sort of moment for everyone involved. It's just hard to say.
And because it's also on my mind, Eloy Perez, former boxer, also passed away recently as well. So just a really sad time. And just to sort of bring some sort of not silver lining, but some sort of good news in it. Earl Spence, who obviously almost tragically got taken away from us as well, recently posted on his IG. I forget the exact words. Rob posted like, "No broken bones. I'm a savage." So at least we still have Earl Spence, because it could have been even a worse week if we lost even more lives than we already have. It's just a tough week for the sport overall.
Yeah. You know, happy for Errol, but I'm not saying, you know, he's put that out because he's survived that and come out of hospital and he's fine. But, you know, doesn't make Patrick Day any less of a kind of a, you know, I'm not saying Errol's out of order for putting what he did. I'm just saying Patrick Day was a warrior himself, and he obviously fought as much as he could, even in his hospital bed. But yeah, sucks, man.
Yeah, we're gonna move on. Just because we have to move on. Man, these topics don't even seem like fun anymore, man. You know, like we have some fun topics up ahead, but they don't even seem like fun anymore. Tyson Fury out there being Tyson Fury-esque, saying that there's a hell of a chance his £12 million deal with the WWE could scupper, they're using the word in the title, scupper the rematch against Deontay Wilder. And I'll be at $15 million US as well for how much is the deal for the WWE fight with Braun Strowman. Guys, do we think this is serious? Do we think Fury, along with the cut, $15 million one fight, air quote, fight deal with the WWE, does he just say, why am I going to rush to a February date with Deontay Wilder? And do we get that rematch either canceled or pushed back?
Well, I thought it was already going to be pushed back because of the cut that he got with Otto Valen. Mm-hmm. I don't understand why it's like an either or thing. Like, either I wrestle for $15 million, and he should wrestle. If they're paying you $15 million, take the $15 million. You'd be nuts not to. But like, he's not signing a long-term contract. He's not going on tour with the World Wrestling WWE. Mm. So why can't he do both? Like, why couldn't he? This event's in a couple of weeks, right?
Because the thinking is that he could fight, air quote, fight the winner of the main event on the card, the WWE card, which is Brock Lesnar, Cain Velasquez. So he threw out, maybe like I'll keep doing this after. Like they're paying me $15 million a pop. Like maybe I'll go fight Brock Lesnar. We're gonna see what happens.
I don't think Tyson Fury gets bored outside the ring. You know what I mean? I don't think this is take the 15 million. Don't make a career out of this. Like stay in the ring, keep yourself out of trouble, keep yourself alive kind of thing. You know, it's like Josh Hamilton. Like keep yourself busy. Don't look at distractions.
Speaking of distractions, he was recently pictured with Floyd Mayweather, Joseph Parker, and some other people that I don't know in a Las Vegas nightclub. So Fury, man, I hope he's not back on the juice, man. Rob, any thoughts on Fury Wilder potentially not happening due to the WWE deal and Fury falling in love with pro wrestling?
You know my feelings on pro wrestling. But marketing wise and money wise, good on him. You know, whatever. Go, you know. It's fair enough. And he is kind of, although it's a little bit cringy for me, but he seems like he's made for it, like the whole setup of WWE. But yeah, I've seen different reports that he's then going to go on and fight the winner of whoever it is.
Cain Velasquez.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar.
And yeah, and that other Juice head.
Who are rematching from their UFC fight, because obviously both guys used to be UFC fighters.
Yeah, I wonder who will win this one.
Ask that. Cain Velasquez was a UFC guy, right?
He was one of the best heavyweight champions of all time.
And did Brock beat him? And
nope, Cain beat him. Cain knocked him out, I think, in the first round.
But wasn't it injuries, or was it injuries that kept Cain Velasquez away from?
Oh, it was injuries that kept Cain from the UFC cage. Yes.
Yeah.
He got injured a bunch. That was a notorious thing for him.
So yeah, the rematch, except this one's scripted.
So Brock's gonna win this time, right?
Yeah, I guess, to set up the Fury fight, to be held in North Korea, I think.
That'd be cool. I'm down.
I'm making jokes.
Are they gonna build their own stadium there, like they're doing in Saudi Arabia? That'd be dope.
The stadium that's under construction, but apparently, according to the Sun newspaper, UK fans, there's hysteria that it's not going to be built in time.
What's the Sun? The second you said it's the Sun reported, I was like,
nope. Yeah, right.
No, ignore it.
Christ.
But digressing, Fury Wilder, do you think it legit still happens? Maybe not the February date, but do you still think it happens first quarter next year?
Yeah, I think it happens. Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
First half of the year. I don't know about first quarter, but first
half. Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
Barring an accidental steel chair to the cut eye, when it was supposed to hit him on the other side of the head, but it hit him, he got it wrong and bust the eye open again or something.
And Matthew D'Souza saying, actually, quickly, Aaron Munoz with the super chat. Thank you, Aaron. Saying, thanks for the good show, guys. Thank you for the super chat. Matthew D'Souza saying, 12 million, is it a pay-per-view event? Yes, it's a WWE pay-per-view event. It's their second or third Crown Jewel event, which is in Saudi Arabia, so that's where they're getting all the money from. A la AJ making.
Interestingly, Sky at the moment have got the rights to the WWE up until January of next year. So Tyson Fury is getting promoted by Sky TV,
BT Sport,
Sky pay-per-view. And then obviously that will somehow, I guess, lead to some kind of Wilder Fury promotion, because that will get, whether that gets talked about, I don't know, or whether Wilder might show up in Saudi Arabia as part of,
No.
I'm just saying, as far as Fox being involved,
we're definitely gonna get that.
Yeah, so whether Wilder's ringside, or is it ringside at wrestling?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it a ring? Yeah, it's a ring.
You done a circular motion, but it's corners, right?
But I mean, come on, you want me to do a square and with never mind.
It's a square called a ring. So Sky are going to be doing, I guess, all this push for an event that's probably going to be, on BT Sport, and then obviously BT are picking up the rights for WWE going for it. So in some ways, I've seen some people go, Tyson Fury on Sky pay-per-view, huh? And it's, but for a wrestling match and whatever. It's saving BT some money promoting it.
Speaking of whatever, guys, Terence Crawford is officially fighting his mandatory, Gvozdyk Kavalaskis, December 14th, triple header. And as Dan Rayfield says, the main event of a, quote, loaded triple header. Ooh. God, what a shitty main event.
Can't say it's loaded triple header when the main event is trash.
Complete ass trash garbage. Like,
I mean,
oh my God. Like
you're saying it's his mandatory. It kind of is, but it was never called. It's the whole Golovkin thing, right? Can I fight my mandatory soon?
Yep.
Please? Now.
It's exactly
so the
that.
the WBO have tweeted out saying Terence Crawford will face his mandatory. So it is his mandatory, but it was like never like called, if you know what I mean.
No, it's exactly. It's
dude got a fucking draw with Ray Robinson, right? And he's now the mandatory to Terence Crawford. So I guess he didn't go up or down from the position he was in from a draw, but I don't know.
fight.
Weird. But yeah,
co-main event's great.
yeah. And obviously Conlon and Nikitin got the whole Olympic thing going on.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that doesn't make it like, I'll put it this way. Even if, let's say, Crawford Kell Brook on, let's say, the main event, right? Would you still say would it be a loaded event then?
No, I don't know.
I don't know. Like, this is kind of just it's a good card, and then you get to the main event, it's a trash card. If the main event was good, it would just be, I think, a good card. I don't know.
I'm at the point now with Kell Brook that if you're not going to fight Amir Khan, I'm really not.
I just mentioned him because he's a big name.
And even then, if you fight Amir Khan, I'm still not that like excited about it. But at least it maybe pops that whole bubble of that from boxing Twitter and the boxing universe. It's done now. It's like you've pulled the Band-Aid off.
No one cares about the fight anymore.
I'm actually the opposite of that. If he's gonna fight Amir Khan, I'm not interested. If he's gonna fight somebody good, I'm interested. If he's gonna fight a top 20 guy at 47 or 54, I'm interested in watching Kell Brook fight again. If he's gonna fight Amir Khan, I have no interest in that.
Amir Khan's still top 20 in the welterweight division, probably. That's the sad part.
You can't name 20 guys at 147.
Can you?
Beat.
You can't challenge me if you can't accept your own challenge.
He's got about 15 from Texas, probably.
I can just go on BoxRec right now and start naming guys. You want me to?
Just go on BoxRec and just see if Amir Khan's in the 20.
He's in the top 20 in BoxRec because he's got wins.
Well, there you go then. It's official.
Jeff Horn beat him.
Jeff Horn's not. No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Amir Khan, Jeff Horn ices him.
I don't know about that.
Brandon Figueroa?
The guy at 122?
I mean, he beats him too. Omar Figueroa? We talked about whether...
Omar doesn't win. Omar doesn't win.
Amir Khan is 10. You're going to have to bump him with a lot of people now, Gary.
No, I can see guys bumping him, like obviously like a Jamal James, Adrian Granados. I can see them beating
Virgil Ortiz.
Sergey Lipinets obviously beats him.
Sergey
Adrian
Lipinets
Broner obviously beats him.
Delarme beats him.
Probably. I probably agree with that.
Granados.
Probably. But see, he beats...
Who's this guy? Virgil.
Why? How the hell is David Evanesian still in the top 10 in this division?
BoxRec legend.
He's just beat Laranga twice. And he's now in a fucking purse. The fight's on.
We're going to get to that.
All right, you brought his name up.
Don't spoil the topic later on.
Don't mention his name in the top.
Don't mention his name. It's Voldemort. No.
Maurice Hooker beats him.
You know what? I don't care about this topic anymore. I just realized that.
Maurice Hooker beat Amir Khan at 140, with Khan being a 147.
He beats him at any weight. And we talked about whether or not a new way could knock Amir Khan out. I mean, me and you both kind of said, maybe.
Somebody mentioned Mikey Garcia. Of course, Mikey can beat Amir Khan. Like that goes without question, guys. Come on. Like everyone knows, like I'm kind of a Mikey hater, but come on, Mikey knocks him out.
Yeah, you said he's basic.
He is basic, but he still knocks out Amir Khan.
Andre Berto beats
flashy combos.
I don't know. Berto hasn't fought in fucking a year and a half?
Over a year. Yeah, he fought.
Did he retire
Devin last summer?
Because he had
he was supposed to fight was Miguel Cruz, and Cruz got pulled, or one of them pulled out with an injury.
Remember Andre Berto lost a family member, like a really close family member recently. I want to say like it was like his mom or his dad, like somebody that close. Like it was somebody very like in his immediate family in the last, I want to say, year or two. And I think ever since then he's been checked out, honestly, if I had to bet.
Last time he fought, he got a split decision over Devin Alexander, but didn't Devin Alexander win that? Or I can't remember.
I don't think so.
No, I thought Berto won.
Oh, that's it. I knew people that weren't happy with it. Well, I don't know, whatever. But
moving on, Terence Crawford fighting Kavaliauskas. I mean,
yeah.
I don't think any of us are really going to care about Crawford's career until he starts fighting PBC guys. Because there's really no one else outside the PBC group right now that will satisfy us with top 5 competition.
Well, let's see if Mr. No Broken Bones, I'm a Savage, sends an offer.
Well, what if Collazo beats this unbeaten Russian Curtio guy?
I mean, obviously there's serviceable fights for Crawford. Don't get me wrong, like Collazo, Kell Brook, Regis Prograis, but they're only serviceable. They're not legacy defining. They don't change the paradigm of the division at all. You still get the same issue after he beats all those guys. So, and on top of that, I don't think it gets him towards the Spence fight at all. None of those fights are on the way towards Spence. It's on the way to doing nothing in your own little tiny pond. Okay? And right now, his pond is the equivalent size of a toilet bowl. That's how much water is in the top rank welterweight pond right now. Okay? And he's a little guppy in a toilet bowl, just swimming around, kicking everyone's ass. Okay? We're tired of that. Go to the fucking ocean where there's other fucking fish, please.
They're going to start looking at Tim Bradley. Bob's going to say,
Tim,
one more fight?
Fucking guy.
One more fight?
Just a little look down to the commentary.
Look, if we get Crawford Bradley, we need a riot. Like, everyone needs to grab the fucking pitchforks, march down to Top Rank's headquarters and offices in either LA or Vegas, and fucking barge down the doors. We need to save Crawford from them.
I will be no part of this violence.
Violence is needed, okay? We need to save Crawford from them, okay? Trust me, if that happens. But digressing, guys, because Crawford's in limbo. Until he's not, it's really just a sort of
Comey Lopez should be the main
limited
event
conversation. You're right, Comey Lopez, but we've known that's official for a while. It's been Crawford.
Yeah, but it should be the main event, I said.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. Yes. Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, because
name value.
You're going to put the best fighter in the world in the co-main?
Yeah, but Matt said name value. Has he got a name?
Yeah.
Crawford.
In Omaha?
Yes. More than Teofimo Lopez?
Look,
yes, absolutely.
I'll tell you this. Crawford versus Benavidez. Benavidez had no attention on him. No one cared for that fight. It did over 2 million viewers average on ESPN. It broke the NBA average. Okay.
Yeah, well, it's probably on after a football game. This is like Spence's.
But this is on after the Heisman Trophy Award.
Yeah. It's just going to be left on. People will be in the other room doing shit.
It's going to get great views.
Yeah.
It is.
By people that aren't actually viewing it.
Maybe. But I'll tell you this right now. I guarantee you, okay, it's going to do great numbers because of Crawford.
Oh, this isn't pay-per-view? I thought this was pay-per-view.
No.
ESPN pay-per-view.
No, Gary, stop encouraging shit.
No, come on.
Look at him.
That con fight was pay-per-view. I thought moving forward to pay him.
No, Gary, remember they said Collazo would be free TV or Khan would be pay-per-view. So if he's fighting subpar competition, it's free TV.
Khan wasn't.
But
subpar.
But in terms of name value, drawing power, that's what I mean.
I understand. Yeah.
They didn't even put Kavaliauskas on the poster. They put Crawford.
Are you serious?
Mean Machine.
With no
actual real name.
Oh,
just
wait, I think like there's no picture of him on the poster. It's just Crawford.
Oh no, he's on it,
okay.
But they've done it as Mean Machine. Like everyone knows who fucking Mean Machine is.
Yeah, but they do. Everyone. It's like Canelo or Dr. J.
Or Maidana.
Or made
it's like he's fighting Kavaliauskas. Who? Mean Machine. Oh, Mean Machine. Like the people don't know fucking Mean Machine.
Oh yes, they do. I think
98% of that 4 million won't know who he is.
For sure, absolutely.
Anyways, moving on to some rather big news, though I don't think it's going to get nearly the coverage it should, or get nearly talked about as much as it should, until probably it starts really being in effect. But the California State Athletic Commission has now decided, with a unanimous vote, that they're going to now cancel all fights, MMA and boxing, if fighters are over the 15% contracted weight. So what that means basically is that when they, if you are, let's say, your walk around weight, if you weigh on average 15% more than your walk around weight, then they're not going to cancel. They're going to cancel your fights. They're going to not allow you to fight at that weight class going forward. I think this is a good measure, though it definitely is going to affect MMA far more than boxing. The exact numbers here from their studies. Let me see. 9 out of 574 boxing matches between January and October 2019 would have been canceled under this rule. So that's a very limited number. But it's a stretch. And I mean, I should say it's a start. And it's definitely on the path towards curbing extreme weight cutting, because that, I think, is one of the biggest issues in the sport. Guys, any thoughts on the new California State Athletic Commission's rule about the 15% contracted weight, and now saying that they will cancel fights if you exceed that?
I personally love it, right? It's not, which most commissions do, is if you miss weight, then you have to pay us. So we want to enrich ourselves off of mismatches. They're actually canceling the fight. So it's actually about fighter safety. It's not like what the NFL does and say, oh, we care about player safety, so we're going to take away one preseason game where the players rest and add a regular season game where they'll get hurt, right? This is actually about the safety of the fighter. So I love it. Weight cuts are getting serious. We're seeing major injuries from fighters cutting way too much weight.
Fighters die. In Brazil,
die.
It's been a huge issue in Brazil. I know for boxing fans, they may not know about this, but look up like MMA fighter dies weight cutting. Like, just type that into Google. You're not going to see any images or videos, but you're going to find news stories, and it's a lot. Again, Brazil has had a lot of issues. And for boxing heads, this has happened rather recently. Antonio Orozco was supposed to fight, I want to say it was Ramirez back in the day, when they were first scheduled to fight, and Orozco passed out during the weight cut. And
it was Danny O'Connor passed out during the weight cut.
No. Orozco is somebody that has passed out during a weight cut. Trust me.
Danny O'Connor had a... Okay.
Trust me. Trust me. Orozco and Ramirez, I think, were scheduled to fight, because they ended up fighting, obviously, at some point. But they were scheduled to fight, I want to say, like a year prior or a year and a half prior. And Orozco failed to make weight. He passed out during weight cutting, and they had to call in a late notice replacement. So this is not new, and this does happen in boxing, but it is far more infrequent in boxing because of the frequency of weight classes. You know, there's only 5 or 7 pounds in between weight classes in boxing, and MMA, it's 10, 15 pounds in between weight classes. It's a big difference.
And in boxing, you need your legs more, so dehydrating yourself is going to damage yourself more. Where in UFC, and I could be wrong, you need that upper body strength. You want that physical strength advantage. So there's a much bigger advantage to cutting weight. No, you don't think so?
I don't agree with your assessment that boxers use their legs more. And a great example is just...
I have no idea. I just thought they did.
I'll put it this way. Look at MMA fighters and their leg like muscle formations, and then compare it to boxers. Like, MMA fighters have like running back thighs. They have to for takedowns, for grappling, for kicks. You need bigger legs in a sense. Boxers, you get far more scrawnier legs. Deontay Wilder, Maurice Hooker, Lawrence Okolie, you know, like
Tim Bradley,
Terence Crawford, even in a way, right? Like, even think of a guy like that's like muscular, like Earl Spence. He has kind of scrawny legs if you look at the comparison to MMA fighters.
Yeah, but Tim Bradley, I've seen better legs on a chair. I mean, that guy's legs are like toothpicks.
Whoa. Pause. But digressing.
That probably sounded weird. Yeah, that
did. That definitely sounded weird. You should not be saying that to other people, that you are looking at Tim Bradley's legs so much. Digressing. Good rule by California State Athletic Commission. Rob, I forget if you say anything. I totally forgot after Gary mentioned Tim Bradley's legs.
No, anything that's going to, bring the fighters' safety. The safety has risen. But I mean, I was sorry while you were discussing that, reading Lou DiBella's statement, and it's he's kind of alluding to the fact that maybe whether now is exactly the right time with emotions, but maybe we need to start looking at ways of making the sport safer. I said we don't have any of the answers right now, but there's now all of a sudden a lot of questions, and it could be something that was in the memory of Patrick Day that something was changed or some kind of difference was made as regarding fighter safety and things like that. So yeah, anything that's got the fighter's health in mind, these weight cuts sometimes, we've seen videos recently of fighters being held on scales they're about to apparently go and have a fight. You wouldn't think they could tackle a flight of stairs, let alone a fight against another human being. But anything that's because isn't it like detrimental to taking shots as well, if you're severely weight cut,
because the water on your brain, the water you sweat off, it's extra. But the one thing I wanted to add to this is Texas is licking its chops right now. All those Mexican fighters who have a home in California who may not be able to make this rule, they're just going to fight in Texas now. Yeah, because it's not like UK. There's not one commission. There's 50 commissions. So, like Munguia, he's done fighting in California. Texas will sanction him though.
Or he'll just move up and wait.
So but he's not, because he's not good. He needs to have a size advantage.
But he's already talked about moving up in weight. So that example, he'll just move up in weight. Period. I think. But you're all right that some guys will go.
Adding more than 15% of his weight at one. That guy's huge. You're going to get guys where they're just going to fight, and that's not California's fault. California can only do what California can do. But you're going to just see guys go to Texas.
Agreed. Moving on, Mike Coppinger coming out and updating us on, Deion Jacobs and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. are closing in on a deal for a super middleweight bout December 13th, but that did get sort of adjusted or fixed, I should say. It's now moved to December 20th because Verge Ortiz will be headlining a DAZN card on December 14th, and they want consecutive cards for 3 weekends in a row for some reason. Not surprising. But, and sort of confirming this, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. coming out, saying Al Heyman and Eddie Hearn, I think now is on. I am ready. #party. I have and he had, 20, 30 emojis, and I'm not going to try to translate what they all mean. But hey, Chavez Jr. is back, guys, and it's thanks to Al Heyman and Eddie Hearn. Yay. I mean, now we know who to blame for bringing Chavez to us again. Al Heyman, Eddie Hearn. Thanks, guys.
Did you see the picture of Chavez? He looks lean.
He's looking thin. And also, to add, it's not confirmed yet, but he is training with Freddie Roach right now, and he wants to be back with Freddie Roach. So God knows if they're going to be back together and the band's going to get back together. But hey,
did you make any sense of Chavez's tweet? Did that mean I'm ready to?
Yes, that 100% means he's ready to fight. Obviously, I don't know what the emojis mean, but he 100% says, "I think now is on. I am ready." #party. Yeah, it's very clear what he's saying.
Okay, I didn't get the attempt at English, and like you say, the fucking hieroglyphics that he left in emoji form. I was like trying to break that down.
Just ignore the emojis. And ignore everything after party.
I was like, what the fuck is that all about? All right. Is he still on the gear? Oh my God.
He might be. Hey.
Yeah.
It's far enough out. He could probably get away with it.
But yeah, we'll be interested to see whether did Mike bring up where this is actually slated to land? Like what?
No,
state?
They have not. They have not. And I've
that'll be interesting.
And we have been hearing whispers, rumors, I think we all have, that this fight might be moved to Texas. That's been a possibility.
Yeah, well, when Gary Gate crashed the presser, I've heard it on other videos right now. So of Gary asking those questions, but Yeah, although now the date's moved, does that mean like there isn't a conflicting card in New York? So will it stay in New York as originally planned?
It shouldn't.
Yeah, so
It should move because I think New York market's going to be sort of dried up even just a week after. Like we had the same issue with what was it? There was a fight recently in let's say the last year or two where like the week after was a relatively decent fight. Maybe it was Triple G like Derevchenko and Spence Porter. That was like just right like recently. Triple G had no fanfare, no hype. Why? Because all that attention for boxing by the mainstream was consumed the week before. The mainstream media and fans, they only have so much attention in a certain time frame for fighting. You know, so if you have a big fight, the next week or two, things are going to suffer just naturally. Obviously, Mayweather McGregor and Canelo Triple G, I think, had a little bit of that. Obviously, Canelo Triple G is still largely successful, but I think it clearly affected them in some way. But anyways, guys, digressing. I do think Chavez and Jacobs will get moved to Texas. I think it's probably the best thing to do moving forward.
Well, hang on. Virgil Ortiz, do they have a location for that?
Let me have a look, Gary.
No,
because he did well. I don't know what the venue is small, but he sold out the venue pretty much. They might want to bring that back there unless they want to try to market him in LA or something like that.
I wouldn't mind in LA for Virgil Ortiz. Mark him over here.
He hasn't got a fight scheduled according to BoxRec at the moment, but
we do not know where, Gary. That's yet to be determined. Moving on.
And that fight's on the same day.
No.
Oh, the next day, right?
No.
13th and 14th?
No. Gary, we're not listening, clearly. It's okay.
They're moving
the Jacobs
Chavez.
They're moving the Jacobs Chavez card to the 20th.
Because they want it. Yeah, gotcha.
Okay. And the 14th is Virgil Ortiz. So they're a week apart. Moving on for the sake of time.
So you've got to choose if you want to watch Crawford or Virgil Ortiz, right? They're on the same day?
I think so, right?
14th, both on the 14th, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
That's
or,
not tough to see.
Or is the 14th like a Sunday card? Because originally it was the 13th, right?
That was the Friday. 13th was Friday.
Oh, okay. Moving on. Carlos Toro reporting Tekken Promotions announced a massive card for December 23rd in Kanagawa, Japan. Ryota Maeda fighting Steven Butler. Kenshiro fighting Felix Alvarado. Love that fight. And Murti Methalan versus Akira Yagasha on the card as well. Yes, give me some New Year's Eve or New Year's, close enough, Japanese boxing. This card, it does not have a U.S. distributor yet, but since it's Maeda, I'm assuming ESPN Plus is going to pick it up, but who knows? But overall, I love this card, except for the main event. Main event's trash. But Shiro, Alvarado, Methalan versus Higashi, those are two fantastic fights against top 5 competition. I'm all for it. Unification, obviously, with the Shiro Alvarado fight. Guys, thoughts on this Japanese New Year's Eve-ish card?
I sent you the information before you sent it. You didn't even realize, but you know.
I know.
No, it's good. Yeah, Murata, Butler. I'm not really that bothered. Butler ducked Andrade for an actual world title to fight Murata for his not actual world title. But yeah, Kenshiro gives them Methylane. Happy with that. It's fine. Good fights. Hopefully find somewhere to watch it.
Agreed.
The Felix Alvarado fight is with Shiro. That's an excellent fight.
Amazing.
And I just looked Alvarado up. He's only 30. Like, he lost to Ioka, I feel like 8 years ago. I guess he was super young at that point.
8 years ago, and he's what, only 30?
30. I don't know. You can look it up.
I was going to say he's about 22 when he lost him.
And I don't think it was 8 years ago. I think it was more like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, probably.
It was. I'm going to look it up now. I have his page open.
I mean, if you have it open, look it up. I mean,
this guy fights a lot. It was 2013.
Oh my God, it was a long time ago, 6 years ago. That's
6 years ago. Yeah.
wow. So 24. That was young, yeah. But Alvarado is one of those guys that's been around forever. He's a Hispanic fighter. They really don't have amateur careers. You know how that happens. So they've been fighting since they're 17, 18 usually. Bye, Gary.
No,
But also, I mean, Akira Higashi, there are so many fans right now of boxing that probably have no idea who this guy is. Go watch this fight with Roman Gonzalez, Chocolatito. If you have not seen Roman Gonzalez versus Akira Higashi, you are missing out on one of the best fights of the decade. Okay? And he is one of those guys that's kind of like, what's a good comparison for a guy like Higashi? Like a guy that's been around forever, but has like only lost to the best, still is at the top, still catches champions here and there. I mean, he is one of my favorite boxers to watch out of Japan. That fight's fantastic. And plus, obviously, Kenshiro is one of those up-and-coming, undefeated Japanese stars. If he keeps winning, he will be up there in the conversation with Tanaka in a new way rather quickly, let's be honest. Any other thoughts, guys, on this Japanese card? No. Perfect. Moving on. Marco Huck back in action, winning the purse bid against Joe Joyce. Fight most likely happening in Germany. Also, Eddie Hearn confirms that he has a deal agreed with David Avanesian and Josh Kelly. That was not purse bid, though. Guys, thoughts on these two fights in the UK market, or for UK fighters, most likely not in the UK market?
Yeah. Fair play to Kelly. A lot of people said he kind of avoided Avanesian because it was going to happen at one point. Then he got sick, and then they thought it was happening again, and he went a different route. But yeah, and Avanesian coming back, looking pretty brutal against Larango over in Spain. Yeah, and I just hope Kelly has done some work in the gym where he puts it together for more than just the first few rounds and switches off and and I think he'll have to against Avanesian, but I think Kelly can get the win. And Hook winning the purse bid, I think Eddie Hearn said something before it went to purse bids. He said, that's a tricky one, as if Hook's got some money behind him, and turns out that way. And yeah, Joe Joyce going to Germany for this, which Sam Jones said we've got no problem going to Germany. But yeah, I don't know. BT, Frank Warren landed Joe Joyce in this big heavyweight, and he's fighting elsewhere. So we'll see. Obviously, there'll be UK distribution, I'd imagine, somewhere. So it'll probably still be on BT anyway. But yeah,
Gary, your thoughts? Joe Joyce, Marco Huck in Germany, and David Avanesian versus Josh Kelly in an undisclosed location at this point.
No thoughts on that. But you go to those guys ahead of Alessandro Rigaccini, who's fighting on the Gallimore versus Goucher card. That gets a mention. But my boy, the WBC Intercontinental Silver Welterweight Champion.
You know what? For that reason, right? You said right there. That's why I didn't mention him.
That fictional bout you just came up
right
with.
there. Yep, that's exactly.
Speaking of fictional bouts, you guys have got obviously ESPN. Are they pushing the Gvozdyk lineal champion thing, or is it only when Fury's the lineal champion?
You know what? No, they haven't, and they should.
He's like a legitimate lineal champion, right?
Yeah, legit. Yeah. He beat the lineal guy, Adonis Stevenson, and retired him even. How are you not mentioning this in any way? Oh, well, that's right, because ESPN sucks as a promotion or network apparatus. That's right. That's right.
Just thought I'd bring that up.
I mean, let's be honest here. The shoulder programming that Top Rank has within ESPN is non-existent. There's no weekly shows for boxing.
Max on boxing, right?
I mean, that happens, I feel like, once in a while. That happens, once a month?
Oh, right. Okay. I didn't realize.
I don't know if it's a weekly show. Gary, is that a weekly show? Max on Boxing, where it's Max Hellman talking?
It's not weekly. It started off, initially the first couple of weeks they did it once a week. Now they just do it spontaneously. Because I have it.
You ever like record it, set to recording?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to say it's on like ESPN2 even. It's not even on ESPN. Like the
No, it's not. No, it's on the Deuce. The
It's-
Ocho.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Ocho.
Oh my god, the deuce. Yeah, no, I just wondered. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, who knows here? But anyways, digressing. Gary, mute your mic.
I'm trying to. Hang
Meet
on.
your kid.
Mute your kid.
Jesus. Oh,
Moving
shame.
on.
No, look, everywhere you look, when he sat there, there's a fucking Dallas Cowboys fucking star on his chest and a map of Texas on his head. He moves and there's a fucking framed Texas flag.
And Texas fighters.
Jesus, he's proud, man. Fair enough. Good boy. Whatever. But yeah, what were we talking about? Kelly and that. Yeah, that's good.
Yes, moving on.
I'm happy with that.
Carl Frampton versus Tyler McKeary.
Oh, quick, Gary's not here. Let's get through this one.
Yeah, I don't care about this card. And on the Oscar Valdez undercard. Like, that's right. Fuck, I hate.
And he's fighting the guy that was supposed to fight Frampton that fell over in the shower, right?
Valdez is, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This makes no sense to me. This is... Every time I think
I
about top
wonder
rank,
if
my blood pressure goes up.
Cleary was the guy that pushed the concrete pillar in the Philly hotel. Revenge.
You know, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense. What else do we have? We already talked about that. Last topic of the day, and then we're going to get out of here, guys. Unless we have callers. Or we do. We have Santiago. So call in, guys, 323-870-4051. Press 1 to in the queue. International callers, Skype, Mix Combat Radio. Rob, I don't know what this topic is, but it's, what's his name? David Allen.
Yes.
Dave Allen's post to Frank Warren. I don't know what this is about. So can you explain to us why we should care about this and why this was in the topics group chat, which is just for links for show topics?
Yeah, he was recently at the Josh Warrington Frank Warren card, just there for the fights with the intention of talking to Warren about making the fight with Dubois, which caused a lot of people on Twitter, like, don't do it, Dave, don't do it, Dave. He's like, look, I'm a fighting man, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And if he wants to fight, that's kind of up to him.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
To which there were discussions. I think Michael Benson might have put out a tweet saying Frank Warren says he's put out an offer for Dave Allen to fight Dubois. And Dave Allen quote tweeted that and said, if there's an offer, I haven't seen it. So instantly people are all on the Warren talking out his ass again. There's no offer. But eventually it come through that Dave Allen got to see the offer, because Allen wants to fight him in March, but I think Warren wants him to fight him in December. Now it's come out that if that's the case, David Allen gave them a certain figure that if you want me to fight in December, I'm not going to be 100% by then. So you're going to have to pay me handsomely for it. And then Frank Warren came out today and explained to fight in December, that we've made you an offer. I forgot the wording that Alan used to say about
Alan or Frank, because I have it up. I can go to it.
Alan, what did Alan say about the first offer?
Hello to whoever runs Frank's Twitter. As you know, the boxer, myself, does have the final say, but I do have a manager and several people advising me. You want it December, you know the figure. You want it March, you know that figure is considerably less. Have a great day. X, which means kiss.
Yeah, but there was one before that where he described what the first offer was like. Derogatory or deplorable, something like that, a bad offer anyway. And then Warren come out with his thing, explaining the breakdown of because people are saying, so wait, he offered you the same you got for fighting David Price on a pay-per-view, which you lost, and you're turning that down because people are like, oh, Frank's lowballing, Frank's running out of money, because the whole Hook won the purse bid, and then all this stuff come out about Dave Allen getting lowballed, but then people saw what Frank Warren said. But then Dave Allen said, look, if I'm fighting him in December, I want compensating for it because I will not be, fully ready for that. But I'll take the fight, but I won't properly paying for it. But in March, it can be the lower offer. But so at the moment, who knows? But there you go.
I wouldn't mind a Dubois, a Allen fight. I wouldn't mind that. It wouldn't be the fight I would want next, personally. I feel like Dubois can take a massive step up. Like if he wants to, he could start fighting top 15 competition easily. Dave Allen's top 30 guy, top 50 guy. That's still sort of fighting the same level or level right below Nathan Gorman. Like you can sort of take the jump up if he wants, even though he's so young. So that's what I would prefer. But I wouldn't mind a Dubois Allen fight. It's serviceable.
Yeah,
it's fine.
This is the thing. Dave Allen's got a following, and that following don't want him to take it because they're concerned for him because he's
been acting weird on social media too.
Well,
I'm not gonna say suicidal, but kind of like that.
He's got some demons or anything, but he took a little time out. He's come back.
Always concerned about. Sorry, not to cut you off, but I'm always concerned about brain damage, CTE with fighters, and when they start acting erratic.
He's always argued the fact that people saying he's getting increasingly sounding more punch drunk, but he always says, but people don't realize when I fought Luis Ortiz, he smashed my jaw so hard, I bit my tongue and it fucked his tongue up. And I've always sounded like that since this fight or whatever. But I think, I don't know. Also, I think off the back of, God rest him, but the Patrick Day thing, when this news has come, people are like, I don't know, just worried for Dave Allen's health. And, people have said it to him in a nice way. And he's like, I appreciate that. But look, I'm my own guy and I'm a fighting man and this, that, and the other. And others are coming, you fucking stupid. David Price fucking boxed your head off and left you looking like fucking blah, blah, blah. And he's arguing back with the negative side of things. But I don't know. It's his career. I'm not here to say who he should and shouldn't fight and that. His question, his thing is, so what now? I go down to English level, win an English title. Not even, obviously for Dubois it would be the British heavyweight title, which is I think always been a major goal of his. But the English against sort of real club level guy that's not going to get him up for anything or buzzing for it or anything like that. But Dubois fight, he'd be fully engaged in camp, and he said, just think of the noise in the arena when I knocked Daniel Dubois out. I don't know, he's living.
Yeah, but I mean, not to be a sourpuss here, but I'm, me, Rob. I like good competitive fights. Dubois Allen's not a competitive fight. It's fun in the build up because Allen's fun. He's always a character. I think that bring maybe some character out of Dubois as well, but it's not competitive. I'd rather see Allen fight someone that's a little more competitive right now, in my opinion.
Can I get in on that real quick?
Yeah.
It's not competitive, but it's not. I mean, Dubois is still 22. Let him go through these guys. Let him fight different guys with different styles. Let him get some knockouts, knockout names, get names. Do you just want to throw him to AJ or
I never said that. Come on.
No. But I know, and it's a huge difference. But let Dubois stay active, keep him in the ring like they are, and let him run through these guys. Dave Allen.
But look, he can still be active and run through guys, but fight better opposition. I mean, why is he not fighting David Price, the guy that just beat Allen?
Fight Price too. Fight Allen on Monday and fight Price on Tuesday. I'm obviously being sarcastic, but keep him active.
Why not a guy like Carlos Takam? Why not? I mean, he's 22, but who gives a shit? The guy's obviously good. The guy's ready for that step up.
Really good, yeah.
Artur Spilka. I know Melina's fighting someone, Filip Hrgovic. Someone of that ilk. If you're that talented, fight these guys that are that borderline top 20, 30 guys that have been fighting champions, that have common opponents with top 10 guys. Let's see how good you are. I don't really want an Allen fight. Allen may fit in that definition slightly, but I feel like Allen at this point is not the competitive fight for Dubois that we maybe previously would think. Like, the Gorman fight changes my perception of Dubois significantly.
Absolutely, because I picked Gorman to win that fight. So it changed my perspective entirely.
I picked Dubois to win, but my opinion still shifted drastically because he was that good in that performance.
He was. He really was.
You know, like Brian Jennings. Like, Brian Jennings has been looking kind of bad lately. Why not have a Brian Jennings fight with Dubois? That'd be perfect.
You said Spilker and Molina before, which
Yeah,
I'm fine with those two. Is there really much difference at this point between Spilker, Molina, and David Allen?
In
competitiveness of that fight.
I'll put it this way. If you put all those guys against Allen, I pick all those guys against Allen.
You beat Allen?
You know? Like, they're fun fights. They're fun fights. Don't get me wrong. But, like, I'm picking Spilka against Allen. I'm picking Brian Jennings versus Allen. I'm picking Eric Molina against Allen. But those are fun fights. You know, those are more competitive fights than I would say Allen Dubois.
Allen's never beat anybody, right? Like, he's only lost fun fights. Like, he doesn't have. Oh, he beat Lucas Brown.
Yes, he did.
Okay, so
but come on, Lucas Brown was.
It's a name that we know.
It's
right?
Australia, man. Australia gives us a lot of dog shit. Let's be honest. Sorry, Lucas Brown. We love you. Bermain Stavern. Ooh.
Again, Stavern's everyone loves to hate on Stavern, like the worst heavyweight champion of the world ever.
Because he is.
Like John Ruiz.
I would pick John Ruiz to beat Bermain Stavern.
Stavern wasn't that bad though. Like everyone's like, "Oh, Stavern sucks." Like not really.
I don't think John Ruiz was that bad either. I don't think he was the greatest, but he wasn't. He was still top 10.
Joseph Parker or John Ruiz? That's like the same guy fighting each other.
The same exact person. They even look alike too, which is scary. Chris Arreola would be a perfect fight for a guy like Dubois, in my opinion.
That's a great fight for him. I think that's a great fight for him because it's a name, it's a personality.
You know who's a name that's perfect for a guy like Dave Allen, though? Because we haven't mentioned names for Dave Allen. We should. I feel like Rob's getting annoyed with us being so against him. Samuel Peter. Oliver McCall.
Does Samuel Peter still fight?
Yes.
Yeah. He fought on your... he's got a fight against someone. Shit,
Dude,
who's he got?
Samuel Peter's ranked in the top 50 at Box Strike.
Does he still want who next?
Who else would be a good name? I think all the names we've mentioned honestly, for Dubois would be good names for Allen and someone like Eric Molina would be a good fight for Dave Allen. That'd be a really good fight for him. That would still probably, in a sense, Rob, maybe get him up for a fight, right? I think that would.
How about Chaz Witherspoon?
Allen's not ready for those hands.
He isn't, man. He'll get touched up.
He put hands on Usyk. Let's not forget.
Yeah, he's gonna put hands on Allen. I'll be honest. I'd pick Chaz Witherspoon to beat Dave Allen in a heartbeat.
Fuck out of here. Matt, there's a couple more topics.
Oh, there is? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That means I have to pull shit up. Hold on, guys. Make small talk. Well, I pull this up.
Alex Rincon got added to the Cancillo versus Alvarado card in November.
Okay, guys. Breaking news. Sorry, I didn't hear what you said at all.
It's all right. This is Texas related, right?
Some of it is. You have two stories, so one of them is.
Yeah.
Shield's brother is charged officially in the assault on the trainer Ivana Habazine per ESPN. No real shock there once that came out, especially the video. That one video where it showed the guy screwing up after he knocked him down, like that was clear, like video evidence that the police can probably then go on, and I'm not surprised a few days later, even though kind of a week later for us, but a few days later, probably in official filing, that was all taken care of. Go get him. What else? Oh, right here. Earl Spence just received this statement from the Dallas police. Earl Spence has been charged with a DWI misdemeanor B. Mr. Spence has been released from the hospital and will need to address those charges. As for getting a speed of the vehicle, we will not be getting one. So luckily, a misdemeanor. Like the worst they can do is a fine and some community service. Honestly, let's be honest. So no jail time for Mr. Earl Spence for a DWI. And and he is still being investigated for it. So God knows what's going to happen there. But it's a misdemeanor. So again, there's only so much they can do there. Speaking from personal experience, AO. Moving on. That is it for today, it seems, right, Rob? That's the last topic?
Yeah, I was just going to say, it appears, not that I'm sure, I'm not doing the older thing of they're listening, but Errol Spencer's deleted his story where he's saying he's a savage, no broken bones. So whether that's in with the news of Patrick Day or something like that, but he's taken that down.
I don't think it's the news of that. I think it's the news of the misdemeanor. The misdemeanor.
Well,
yeah, same thing. We're saying the same thing. Yes, I think it's that you don't want social media evidence of any sort about anything if it comes to DWI or any sort of charge of that nature.
Well, the story of him at the club the morning of the thing that was only like 6 hours old, and then that disappeared off his Instagram as well. But anyway, it's all whatever.
Moving on. Callers 323-870-4051. Numbers right there below on the screen. That's by
Going
Gary.
out to Gary in Texas.
Going out to Santiago in LA. Santi, what's up?
Hey guys, what's up? A little surprised to know that the highlight of the week is actually on a Friday for me, considering I don't know if you're going to be doing a live fight chat or not for that fight. I imagine you would, but if you don't, I'm sure you got the message in the group chat, so hopefully we'll see you there. I've had my reservations with Beterbiev for quite a while, and just to put it in perspective too, I don't know if it was just me, and I feel like it was me, but it can't be just me. I remember hearing reports when they were first making a fight with Smith, it was going to be with Beterbiev. And I thought that a Smith-Beterbiev fight was actually a good 50-50 fight. But the moment that I saw that it was going to be Bivol versus Smith, that went straight to Bivol's going to win this easy. I've always felt that Beterbiev has been a guy that hasn't hit his ceiling yet, but seems to be limited. And in my hierarchy right now, I have it Gvozdyk at 1, Bivol at 2, Beterbiev at 3, with Sergey Kovalev the odd one out because he has the fight with Canelo, and he seems to be a guy who should win this fight, but at the same time, he also looks like the guy that's on his way out at this point. I think Gvozdyk is going to win this fight. I think that with Teddy Atlas in his corner too, he's going to have enough tricks in his bag to figure out a guy that I feel is probably going to hit his ceiling in this fight. And Gvozdyk, I feel, is still improving at this point in his career. Your thoughts on that?
Can you repeat that last part? Sorry, Rob was messaging me about something else.
I was basically saying that I feel like in this fight, Gvozdyk probably is going to hit his ceiling, but I feel that Gvozdyk is still going to be improving.
Meaning that you think we're going to see the best version of Gvozdyk we've seen on Friday, and he's going to sort of like hit that performance ceiling against Beterbiev because it's going to be a really tough fight. But after that, he's going to then progress. Is that what you mean? Like I'm sort of confused by your point.
Like this is the fight that I feel like we're going to see Beterbiev at his best, but then there's not going to be any more improvement. But with Gvozdyk, I feel like we're going to see improvement, but he's going to continue to improve.
Probably.
Like I feel like he's going to be the guy to make.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to be the guy to make adjustments in the fight.
Yes. I think I agree with what you're trying to say. I think Beterbiev, he's such a specialist in what he wants to do. So anytime you have a specialist, they're always going to sort of stick to that wheelhouse. Look at like a guy like Sean Porter, who we've talked about recently as a guy that's evolved his game, become a much better boxer. But even look at how he's improved his boxing ability. It's been to improve his wheelhouse, his specialty, which is to be an aggressive fighter, an inside fighter. Beterbiev is sort of that same way, where he might improve being an inside fighter, might add wrinkles to that game, but that's his game. Period, point blank, end of story. You're not going to see Beterbiev on the outside throwing a jab, like for a pullback counter right hands. You're not going to see a Pernell Whitaker version of Beterbiev. You know what I mean? I definitely agree with that assessment that his sort of I'm not going to say technical ceiling has been hit, but his style ceiling has been hit because he is a specialist. And that's just how he is. That's how he's wired. Gvozdyk is not that. Gvozdyk is wired to be a freestyle boxer where he's supposed to go backwards, forwards, or lateral. He's supposed to have this range of movement and diversity with his technique and his game and his arsenal because he needs that. That's how he's been trained. Similar to guys within his camp, Lomachenko, Usyk, others. They've all sort of been taught to be versatile boxers. So I think whenever you have guys that are just naturally have a versatile style, they're going to evolve far more than specialists. They're going to have a higher ceiling that they could reach. But because there's so much within their game, it is actually hard for them. It may be harder for a guy that can do a lot more to evolve his game because there's so many more things he needs to evolve to shore up everything. While a specialist, he just needs to improve some things in particular to really rapidly evolve his game, if that makes sense.
Rob, as the guy that's actually going for Beterbiev in this fight, what are your thoughts on what I've said?
I think. Sorry, I was sort of doing a bit of research in the back, but I think Beterbiev probably, like I said, didn't quite get the gist of the thing, but I think Gvozdyk has more, probably got more scope because I think Beterbiev is pretty much just a come forward brawler, and you're not going to change him into something else, I guess, at this point. I don't know if that's quite what you were sort of talking about whose trajectory can go on from this. Is that what you kind
of... I think Santiago was trying to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, Santiago, but within this fight and after this fight, who can actually improve and sort of evolve their game?
I'd say probably Gvozdyk, because I think Beterbiev's kind of just sort of like the beast mode, I guess
he has one gear.
If willing to learn and change, but that's a lot of changes to make, I think, for Beterbiev to suddenly become a good back foot boxer and add all these different facets to his game. I think he's got a style in it. Look, he's had how many fights he had? Like 14, 15 fights, and he's knocked everybody out or whatever number it is, but he's knocked everybody out. So it works for him. But I think Gvozdyk has got more, probably more to his game, and you can always improve on those things and become better. I mean, look, win or lose for one of these guys, it's a learning curve, right? In these big fights, it's all experience, and you can be better coming out the other side from a loss. But and equally, the winner can either plateau and stay at that level because, oh look, I've done it, I've unified belts, so I'm this guy, I'm that guy, I'm so great, or it's like I want more, I'm going to work harder, I want so it depends on the fighter, I guess. But I guess Gvozdyk has got more of a sort of trajectory to improve or scope to improve more than I think Beterbiev has.
Gary, your 2 cents on this?
Yeah, I think Gvozdyk is slightly better now, which is why I pick him. But I think his ceiling is a lot higher. Like, Beterbiev is what he is. Like, I don't see Beterbiev changing much of anything, so I certainly agree with you on that. Gvozdyk has more skills and more gears and more things that he can sharpen. So Gvozdyk and Bivol, I think, are the class of that division. I think Beterbiev is what he is, which is a come forward stalker power puncher, and that's he's never gonna fight backwards. He's never gonna be a typical boxer or really a boxer puncher or a counter puncher. He is what he is, and that's gonna be good enough to win some fights, and it's not gonna be good enough to win others. And I don't think this week is gonna be one of the fights where it's enough to win.
Santi, do you think you're going to see any of the DAZN card in the UK, the Ritson and Robbie Davis?
I'll probably catch the fight while I'm out driving on Saturday. Morning shifts and evening shifts this Saturday with good bonuses. So I'll have something playing in the background for sure. Gets really annoying just hearing the radio on repeat after a while, so I'll probably catch that. And condolences and prayers to Patrick Day's
90
family
seconds.
on their loss. Boxing's a brutal sport. You don't want these things out. Charles Conwell, put out an open letter about like how he felt and like contemplating quitting boxing because of everything that happened. And like these are factors that at the end of the day, you just can't control. Some fighters, like Arturo Gatti can like go in there and like fucking take the kind of damage to kill a person and live on a normal life, and then other people, can't. So like, it's the nature of the sport.
60 seconds.
And, like, not all sports are as inherently dangerous as boxing, but it happens. In baseball, back in the day when you get hit by a baseball, or like hockey or soccer, things happen, and they sometimes they're just out of our control. So I send my best to Patrick Day's family and my best to Charles Conwell as he contemplates his next move too, considering. And that's pretty much all I have to say at this point, guys. I think you guys have probably already asked me anything I have to say. So everyone that's been listening to the show today, hit that like button, share, subscribe. Go to their Patreon. Mixed Combat Radio. They're always giving us hours and hours of content and footage. And these guys are always doing their best to
10
give us
seconds.
the quality content. And like they said, it's a debate show. Sometimes we disagree, sometimes we agree, and that in itself is the nature of the kind of programming that you want to have for yourself. Sometimes that's what breeds growth and learning in the kind of things we're passionate about.
Agreed. Thank you for the call, Santiago. Always appreciate it, man.
I'm always up for giving Matt a learning lesson.
And that's how we get better, and that's how we get smarter.
No. When has that ever happened?
Every day. Just take the benefit of my years, Matthew. See, that's the trouble with the kids of today, isn't it, Gary?
It is.
I think they know it all.
But you're real old, Rob. You're like my mom's age or something. How old are you?
No. The best part is, guys, is that Rob knows this. Like, I'm the old man in the group, deep down inside.
Yeah, you are a grumpy fucker. Yeah,
I'm the one that's yelling at kids on skateboards to get off my fucking lawn. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Why are they skateboarding on a lawn?
I don't know. Okay, but that's just they were adventurous nowadays. Kids these days, man.
Kids.
Yeah, you don't exemplify like the mellow, jaded, high California cool type. You seem a little high strong, Matt. No offense.
I've always been that way too, man. It's the Portuguese in me, man.
He's been a bad strain since I've known him.
It's
and French. I think it's a bit of that French in you,
dude. That's true. I forgot. I'm French, Portuguese, Spanish. You guys are lucky. I'm this low key
here right now because Gary's got Italian and very shouty countries.
Very shouty genetics in this bunch.
and no love for rigatoni today. None.
Dude, rigatoni is a great pasta. Digressing. I also have a lot of Irish in me too. So like that's even like again like just a lot of loud genetics in me.
There's no Irish in you, Matt.
Yes, there is.
The Irish are very happy, go lucky, top of the man into you.
No, that's because they're drunk all the time. I don't drink. That's the issue.
And you have zero Irish in you. If you don't drink.
Anyways, guys. Jay Willits. Rob lived through the war.
The Twitter wars. The Deontay Wilder Joshua wars.
Oh, damn, that was good. That was good, Jay Willits. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today. Obviously, rest in peace to Patrick Day. Condolences to him and his family. It's this industry, man. It's this sport. I don't think there's a way to ever curb brain damage in a sport that literally the intent is to cause brain damage. But, man, like Rob said it, I think you said perfectly. Like, there's just times like these, it always makes you reconsider, why do we do this? Why do we follow this? Is it good? Is it good that we encourage people to go beat each other up and get brain damage for money? And if you don't have that thought, then I don't think you're really human. Like, there's something missing in you, and you need to have that thought every time this happens. It happened with Data Shiv. It's happening now again. If you don't have these thoughts, something's wrong. You should. I'm Matt the Hipster Hunter. Find me, Matt Hunter, MCR, all platforms. Obviously, hit the like button, share the show, subscribe. I'll be back in about less than an hour on Sheridan.com with Anthony Walker, breaking down all things MMA and UFC related. What else? Also, recording. It's officially, we're going to record because I have no kid tonight, so I can do it. I'm going to record my Joker review with Anthony Walker and our El Camino review. Obviously, the El Camino, the Breaking Bad movie. We're going to review that. And also, I'm going to review the new show on Amazon Prime, Carnival Row. So if you want to see all of that, it's going to be recorded tonight, posted tomorrow morning on Trending Now Network on YouTube. Guys, final thoughts. Let people know where to find you. Rob.
UK Rob, MCR, Instagram and Twitter. Yeah, Gary, I bet he doesn't shout at Anthony Walker. I'm telling you, it doesn't happen. Hopefully Gvozdyk and Beterbiev dish up what we definitely know that it really could be an absolute war and a really great back and forth, some knockdowns and some high entertainment craziness. But obviously, in light of what we've heard today, that both guys come through unscathed and things like that, it's really real hard to like I say, you just said what you said about Patrick Day, and then I'm like hoping that these guys have it's I don't know,
it's a
weird sadist shit going on. I don't know why, but it's entertaining for some reason. We love it and we keep coming back to it. But yeah, thank everybody today in the chat. Nice amount of thumbs up, appreciate that. Share the show, click the notifications bell, and if you're not subscribed already, click the subscribe button as well. And yeah, catch you on the next one. Gary.
God rest Patrick Day's soul. It's just tragic news. I actually got to meet him briefly at the weigh-in in Chicago. Really nice guy. He was really pleasant. Talked to everyone. I don't even know what to say. It's just, you never get used to it. Find me on all forms of social media at 3D Boxing.
Yes, and on top of that, Gary is also our head editor of the website, so anything that's going to be posted on the website, it's thanks to Gary. So thank you, Gary, for that. Also, I think Gary's going to be writing more articles for us. I have an article coming out within either this week or next week. I'm working on it. Depends when the research side is completely done, when I can get that finished. But more articles coming out to mixedcombatradio.com in the near future, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. That's about it. Peace.